All right, here's the update. It's been a little bit. The motor is in, but it's not permanently in. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I still have to pull it out and do the clutch. I wanted to make sure everything was going to fit, but we've got the water pump finally, which we were waiting on. So the water pump in, and I'm starting to mock up these lines, and this is really tight. They were not kidding when they said that it was tight. There is no room at all for very much. I think these guys have to be pulled out to be tapped or threaded or something. I've got to figure out a thermostat housing because it doesn't really fit great, and it points in the wrong direction. So the coolant line is over here. If you can see it, the guy with the tape on it right there. I got to cut it back and then figure that out. And then the other guy on the other side is going to fit just fine. It got cut already. I bought the car this way. I'm not sure why they cut it, for some reason or whatever they were thinking about doing. And then I do have an exhaust manifold on, and you'll notice it's flipped up and back. Well, it's facing the right way, but it's reversed. It's the other sides. I'm trying to see if I can get the turbos higher so that they can drain into the spots I already have on the pan. The way they sit normally, they don't go high enough to do very much. I've got the balancer. Did not put it on yet. This is all taped off because I had to cut some stuff. The alternator is loosely on, but this kit was from a truck kit, so it's longer. I have to figure out the spacing back and forth. I'm gonna end up boxing all this back in. I needed to cut it to figure out what went where. This is crazy that you have to cut this much. I honestly can't believe it. I mean, this is where the hole for the plate lights come back through. I mean, we're way up into the back of the car at this point. I think I smashed this a little hard when I was dinging into this. This is the latch setup for the trunk. I still have the latch set up on it. It does clear, but it looks like everybody else online has lost theirs. They take them off. I think it would be really cool to try and keep it. I drilled out the spot welds for the original bracket. I'd like to modify it just to get it to fit. I'm not sure if that's going to be an option once the throttle body is on and once everything else is actually on, because you do have to cut into the top of the trunk quite a bit, it looks like. I don't even know how much room there is allotted for. I don't know how the trunk doesn't. I mean, it is kind of thick, but it's not that thick. So we'll have to see. It can be done with a stock trunk. Everybody leaves them on. I have only seen Hoovy from Hoovy's Garage cut into his pretty good, and he fiberglassed his. I'd like to not do any of that. That's craziness to me. Although he did use a Renegade Hybrids kit, I don't know if that's indicative of those kits, but their trunks on their website are stock, unmodified on the outside, so I'm not really sure. We're trying to get everything else in, and then I think I'm going to mock up the turbo, because there is absolutely no room in this car. I can see why no one does a turbo setup. I've only seen one on LS1 Tech. He did a set of twins. But now that I'm seeing it for myself, I'm not sure if he had a sump pump, if he sumped the oil. That was an option. I have another set of manifolds that hang this thing pretty low, which would actually look really good, but I haven't gone that route yet. I think I'm gonna get everything else in. And then also on the ground, you see two starters. The one on the left was an older, newer one I had, and then the one on the right is an older truck one I had. This is designed for an LS3 starter. I wondered what the difference was. Well, there is a difference. It's a little bit shallower on the back on the shaft for the gear, and it does not fit into this adapter. I did try to cut one down and it's completely ruined at this point now, but it still didn't fit right. I don't know how they, I don't know what they've done to make them fit differently. I mean, it's an LS3. I don't know. All they had to do was make that adapter accommodate a little bit more. Get under there and look. All they had to do was make it accommodate a little bit more room instead of, I don't know, I'm making it so damn shallow. I guess if they want you to use one, they want you to use it. This is what I tried to do here. I whittled off this webbing and then I cut the top, but the top does not have any room, and there's the armature, so you are kind of stuck getting the starter, and it is what it is. I don't really care. I kind of figured I had to buy one. Most of these swaps I've done, like my Mustang and, well, my Mustang and my Mustang, I have never had to buy anything other than the truck stuff always works. There's plenty of room. This thing is really shallow. This is an LS3 water pump, but an LS3 from a Corvette. I don't know if I don't think the Camaro is the same. I thought the Camaro has truck spacing. So I bought a Corvette LS3 water pump, tensioner, and then, like I said, I have this bracket from my other setup. It should work. I'll just space it out. It should be fine. But I mean, and then here's the top. They say that you have to take off your coolant crossover pipe. You can kind of see it back there, and it fit. And they tell you even to pull off this padding. I didn't really want to because I kind of wanted to keep the heat out of the cabin, so I left it on just for curiosity's sake, and it actually all fit. You will never be able to get this off. I saw one guy online said he could take his off if you suck the bolts in, but that is never going to be happening for me ever. And I'm not interested in, I don't know, whatever it is, what it is. You could put a jack under the motor and just lower it down enough to get this out, I think, anyways. But that is not an avenue I'm taking at this moment. Once this goes in, it goes in, and there's no room to really do anything but an oil change on it. It's still very Porsche-like in the fact that it's very compact. Let's see, we gotta figure these out still. We've gotta figure out this coolant. This is the original factory coolant, and there's my fuel filter. Because I have a Carrera 4, they're mounted up here. I don't want that there anymore. I don't like that. I don't know why they, I mean, I was looking underneath and I think I can find another spot for it. I'm not really sure why they put it up here. That seems, I don't know. It seems silly, but that seems like a lot of extra work even for Porsche. But it's their car, not mine. I'm just working on it. So this is where we're at. This is my big fat update for the day. Rambling, blah, blah, a whole bunch of baloney. And we're gonna, well, next time you see it, I'll probably have it mostly plumbed. And then hopefully I'll be moving on to another setup. I still gotta do all the fuel system. I'm gonna get it running with the stock fuel pump for now. I hope it's still good in this car. I don't know anything about it. I know they're a failure point on these generally, but I'm hoping to use it. They say they flow about 255-ish. And for the small setup I'm doing, I think that should be plenty of fuel. If it's not, we'll look into swapping out to whatever, a turbo pump, or if those are crazy money, I'll just do a Walbro. I have like 4 of them laying around, so. But that's it. Big fat update. Big, 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 big. Let's take a look at the car with the bumpers off. I did put the bumper back on just for curiosity's sake once I got the motor in. It was pretty, it hides a lot of it. It's pretty funny. That's it. That's all I got.